This is the Yankees POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the New York Yankees. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, just what the doctor ordered for the Yanks tonight. They avoid the sweep at the hands of the Reds in Cincinnati. Bombers bounce back with a 7-1 win, and again, they avoid the sweep. Reasons? Max Fried, the major reason. 7 innings, 1 unearned run. He was brilliant once again. He's now the major's first 10-game winner. Meanwhile, on the offensive side, both Trent Grisham and Jasson Domínguez, 4 hits, 2 doubles. Again, 7-1 the final score. Hello, everybody. I'm Jay Berman. If you're a New Yorker, you might recognize my work. Glad to have you aboard. I've spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. Please join me on Twitter as well, at Jay Berman, Jayberman. Welcome to the Locked On Yankees postcast, both on the Locked On Yankees YouTube channel and the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. The postcast gives you a place to chat after every game. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Also want to let you know that this episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your very first year.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, a comfortable 7-1 win for the Yankees, and we'll call it wire to wire. They scored a run in the top of the second. They scored 2 in the top of the third, and from there, it was easy, specifically because of Max Fried. Fried, awesome once again, and as we told you right off the bat, he is the major's first 10-game winner. Fried, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 unearned run. That came on the Jazz error. He did walk 1, struck out 7, threw 106 pitches in pretty difficult conditions considering how hot it was, approaching 100 degrees, especially at the start of the game when the sun was still out. But he had 106 pitches. His season ERA below 2 now at 1.92. And he did this knowing the bullpen was short tonight. So, of course, he stepped up and give you what he has given you really all season long. Cruz and Brubaker would get the final 6 outs, both needing 11 pitches. Cruz strikes out the side in the 8th. JT Brubaker gets the side in the 9th. And again, the Yanks win it 7-1 as they pound out 13 hits. As for Fried, plenty of notes to get to. Here we go. He's now 8-1 with an ERA under one in 10 starts this season following a Yankee loss. Now, in those 10 starts, as we said, the Yanks are 8-1, just 7 earned runs, and get this, 68 innings pitched. Amazing stuff from Max Fried, who has been the stopper, truly, this year. He's the first pitcher to 10 wins, as we said. He now has 4 games with at least 7 innings and no earned runs allowed. That's tied with 2 other guys, Tarek Skubal and Nick Pivetta. Again, 4 times this season. Already 4. We're only halfway through. And he's pitched at least 7 innings and given up 0 earned runs. Again, 4 times. Fried has been brilliant. Again, he's now 10-2 overall with a 1.92 ERA. Simply put, been one of the best pitchers in baseball. So kudos again to Max Fried, who, in case you're wondering, because I know you are, a candidate for tonight's player of the game. We won't want to give anything away. All right, Brady Singer got the start for the Reds. He actually struck out 9 in 5+ innings, but obviously allowing 4 earned runs. We bring up the K's because the Yankees have had difficulty in that department. We'll get to that in a second. But if we turn our attention to the offense, it begins and obviously ends tonight with Trent Grisham and Jasson Domínguez. Both had 4 hits. Both had 2 doubles. Grisham drove in a run. Domínguez ups his average to 253. Meanwhile, Trent Grisham, the hot streak, has welcomed him back to the season. He's now hitting .251. So again, huge nights for Trent Grisham, 4 for 6, 2 doubles. Jasson Domínguez, 4 for 5 with 2 doubles. And by the way, the very first career 4-hit game for Jasson Domínguez, not to mention the final of those 4 hits came as a right-handed batter. Now to the part of the offense that's bugging me. And I made a point to bring it up because I don't know how to describe it. It's the new wave of baseball in that you hit a home run or you strike out. Now, Jazz hit a home run tonight. That was nice, especially considering the way things went last night for Jazz. Good night. Picked a good spot to hit a home run for Jazz, his 11th. However, point is the strikeouts, there's been a lot of them. So here we go. Trent Grisham didn't strike out, but Aaron Judge struck out twice. Ben Rice struck out twice. Jazz struck out twice. Austin Wells struck out twice. DJ LeMahieu struck out twice. Domínguez and Volpe both whipped once. So amazingly, with 2 starters not striking out, the Yanks still struck out 12 times tonight, 13 last night. They're swinging and missing at a lot of pitches. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Yankee starters struck out at least twice. Amazing stuff considering the Yanks had 7 runs and 13 hits tonight. Only 4 hits for Cincinnati. Elly De La Cruz, who of course is all world. The only Cincinnati Red with more than 1 hit. He had 2 tonight. But again, the Yanks win at 7-1. They are now 46-34, back to 12 games above 500. And finally, folks, we got ourselves an off day. 16 consecutive games, 16 consecutive days without a break. And for what it's worth, the Yankees finished those 16 games 7-9. So not great. Point being, it's a short flight from Cincinnati to New York and a flight you want to take after a win. And that's exactly what the Yankees did, giving them all the feels for their off day on Thursday. We'll obviously get to the rest of the schedule coming up. Austin Wells did have an RBI single in that 9th inning. That drove in the Yankees' 7th run. I made a note to bring it up because before that at bat, Wells had gone 0 for 3 with a walk. So he did not have a hit in 4 plate appearances until the final at bat. Wells coming into tonight was 5 for 33. So that makes him 6 for 37. There are some slumping Yankees in that lineup. Ben Rice down to 238. Austin Wells down to 217. And Anthony Volpe down to 230. So there are some low 200 averages in the lineup. Now, obviously, what Judge means, both results-wise and presence-wise in that lineup, counts for more than we could even possibly imagine. However, with the exception of Judge, who's hitting 361 now, Giancarlo Stanton, small sample size, is hitting 308. Not another player is hitting higher than 253. That's Domínguez after a 4-hit night. He has the second highest average of the Yankee starters tonight behind Judge, with the exception of Stanton, who has had very few at-bats. Point being, there are some low averages there. There are some struggling bats. And that's with 13 hits tonight, because 8 of them came from 2 guys. We told you, Trent Grisham and Jasson Domínguez. All right, as for the bullpen, we told you about Fernando Cruz, struck out the side of the 8th. JT Brubaker takes care of the 9th. They needed just 11 pitches each. And excellent pitching from the Yankees today. Again, 9, we won't call them scoreless because there was an unearned run. That was on the Jazz error at third base. The throwing error allowed the only run to score. That came in the bottom of the 4th. But again, a breezy 7-1 victory, as Max Fried lowers his season ERA to 1.92. All right, we have plenty of notes and quotes to get to. We'll do that coming up next. And obviously, deep breath on Thursday. Finally an off day, and we'll set you up for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as we head towards the weekend. All right, ever manage your money and feel that it was incredibly difficult? Well, watch Monarch Money. It can make things a whole lot easier. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. If you've ever wished you had all your accounts and spending in one place, well, Monarch Money is for you. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB, LOCKEDONMLB, for half off your very first year. All right, up next is Rougiette. Guys, you've probably heard of Viagra or Cialis. Maybe you've even tried them. But if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rougiette Ready. Rougiette Ready is a next-gen prescription treatment designed to amplify arousal in the brain and boost blood flow. Unlike the usual pills that can take hours, Rougiette's 3-in-1 formula dissolves under your tongue, kicks in fast, on average in 15 minutes. Now, effects can last up to 36 hours, so you can stay confident and in control when the moment is right. I love that it's completely online. Rougiette connects you with a board-certified doctor and ships your treatment discreetly to your door. Head to rougiette.com/LockedOnMLB and use code LockedOnMLB to get 15% off today. That's RUGIET.com/LockedOnMLB. Use promo code LockedOnMLB for 15% off. Individual results may vary with prescription treatment. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. Please visit the Rougiette website for full safety information. All right, no surprise here. Hit it.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Lots of good stats in regard to Max Fried, who is tonight's player of the game. As we said, Fried, 7 innings, 1 unearned run, 4 hits, 1 walk, 7 Ks. His 10th win of the season. The first major league pitcher to 10 wins is Max Fried. He's 10-2 with a 1.92 season ERA. He has been brilliant. He has pitched in a game this year following a Yankee loss 10 times. 8-1 in those 10 games with a sub-1 ERA. 7 earned runs in 68 innings over those performances. Amazing stuff from Max Fried, who, by the way, now has 4 games this year in which he's gone at least 7 and not given up an earned run. So congrats to Max Fried, our player of the game. All right, here we go. Clark Schmidt, Will Warren. That was supposed to be the setup for Friday and Saturday against the A's in the Bronx. Flip it, folks. Will Warren will go Friday. Clark Schmidt will now go Saturday. Why, you ask? Well, because the Yankees want to give Schmidt an extra day. Aaron Boone said earlier today that Schmidt's recovery has been slow from his last start. Of course, it's the start which he carried a no-hitter through the 7th inning. So that's interesting. Jonathan Loaisiga, who, in case you forgot, last night left in the middle of a performance because it looked like he was overheating, had to leave early. Well, that happened again before the game even took place today. Loaisiga felt ill, went back to the team hotel. So back-to-back nights for Jonathan Loaisiga with that. J.C. Escarra left the team to be with his wife, expecting the birth of their first child any day now. So congrats to the Escarra family. All right, as we said, 7-1 the final score as the Yankees avoid the sweep. So as for the pitching matchups for the A's who come in on Friday, remember, first off day tomorrow in over 2.5 weeks. All right, so here we go. Will Warren, Mitch Spence on Friday. And don't let the Athletics fool you. Not as bad as you think. Clark Schmidt, J.P. Sears on Saturday. And now here where things get real interesting. Luis Severino, old friend Luis Severino, is scheduled to pitch on Sunday. Yanks don't have a starter as of yet. This was the Alan Winans, Ryan Yarborough spot. Who knows which way the Yankees go? Do they use an opener on Sunday? Do they push everybody up? We'll have to wait and see exactly which direction the Yankees go. All right, so 3 at home with the A's, then off to Toronto for 4 with the Blue Jays, and then 3 at Citi Field with the Mets before Seattle and the Cubs come to town, and that will wrap up the first half of the season. All right, 7-1 the final score. Yanks win it. They're now 22-18 away from the Bronx. Thanks for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also want to mention our partners in crime at Locked On Yankees, Stacey Goudsoulias and Brian McKeon. Follow, subscribe, and enjoy. 7-1 the final score. Again, off day on Thursday, right back at it Friday. We'll be with you immediately following Friday night's game against the Athletics. Have a great night, everyone.